Zara Larsson, Lush Life on KMFM. Hi to Laura and Elliot on Twitter this evening, KMFM official. Tuesday evening across Kent and everywhere else, to be fair, in the UK. You're listening to Glen Scott. So Nick Jonas, his new single Close, featuring Tove Lo, is available now. His new album last year was Complicated, is on the way as well, and he's been promoting all of the stuff here, there and everywhere. So let's get Nick Jonas on the show tonight.
KMFM.
So let's go straight in then, because talking about the promo, the new single Close featuring... Well, here's the thing that I wanted to ask you first, because when I first heard of Tove Lo, I was told it was Tuvalu, and then I was told it was Tove Lo. Obviously, you would have heard from the source herself how to pronounce it. So how, as like the universal answer, how do you pronounce Tove Lo or Tuvalu?
I do it Tovlo, but I have heard that it's Tuvalu.
Yeah, there's so many different answers, isn't there? But I'll go with you. I'll go with what you said, and then we'll stick with that. A super raunchy video where you both end up in your underwear in the middle of a warehouse. Are they like awkward to film, those videos? Because I'd just be making awkward jokes the entire time.
You know, it really wasn't. I think that with Tove, it was she's so fearless, you know, and in this video, I think we both knew that we had to push each other to really do something that was different and that would challenge people's thinking, and visually would be stunning as well, you know. So we really were fairly comfortable and just tried to have fun with it and make it something special. Did
you not get a bit dizzy when the chairs getting pulled like forward and backwards?
I mean, a little bit actually, but it wasn't bad. It was perfectly reasonable.
You didn't look nauseous in the video, if that's any.
That's a starting place.
I love the kind of sort of tropical sounding beat in the background. It's very like what's in at the moment, like Kygo's killing it with that stuff at the moment, and we're definitely hearing that sort of tropical-ish sound in music a lot more nowadays. Is that the direction that your album is going to head in?
There are some of those influences and some of those sounds. I mean, at the core, I think it's, you know, pop with that R&B kind of edge that I have, that I'm drawn to. And it's just about, you know, building a sound that I hope is really recognizable as my sound, you know, and that people can kind of say, oh, we know right away that that's a Nick Jonas song, and kind of build from there.
Definitely. We're talking of the album. It's out on June the 10th. And is it true that Jay-Z helped you pick the name for the album?
That is true.
What a story.
Basically, in a meeting with Jay, playing him the record, he basically is now a partner with my manager Phil, and I played him the music, and he said, listen, I love the record and where you're taking this next step, but he's like, but I think that the title could be better. I think we could, you know, have it embody the work more and be just more representative of who you are. So we talked for a minute, and he said, just tell me what this year's been like for you. And I said, well, last year was complicated. And he was like, that's it. That's the title. So we just rolled from there.
Just go with that. What would you have done if he came up with an album title and it was awful and you just hated it? But then he is Jay-Z though, isn't he?
Honesty's key. You gotta be honest. Thankfully, it didn't come to that. I actually really liked the title, so it's all good.
Can I ask you what the original title was?
It was a song title from the album called Unhinged, but I think last year was Complicated is much better.
To be fair, Jay-Z's, if you can take advice from anyone, take advice from Jay-Z.
Exactly.
I remember reading an interview with you the other day, and you were talking about Miley's new persona and how you were impressed that she kept evolving as a creator. Obviously yourself, you came from like a Disney sort of background. Do you think that nowadays it's important for people coming from a Disney background to release a much more of sort of an adult sound in order to kind of, in a way, say that was how I was when I was a Disney artist and this is how I am now?
Absolutely. I think that, you know, progression on any level is just really important, and the ability to push yourself to do something different. And when you kind of come from a younger demographic background, I think you're conscious of how you make a transition into adult career. You know, so I was conscious of it. I'm sure Miley was, and others who've had real success. You know, so it's all about just continuing to push yourself and doing something that just helps you grow.
KMFM.
More from Nick Jonas next. Love this from Nick Jonas, Jealous, on the hit list on KMFM Tuesday evening, 8:10. You listen to Glen Scott. We're on Twitter, KMFM official. Let me know where you're listening from in Kent this evening. Hope your Tuesday hasn't been as boring as Tuesdays usually are. Definitely not happening on the show tonight. Very excited on the show tonight because Nick Jonas himself is chatting So let's get back to that.
KMFM.
Let's talk about summer, because summer's rapidly approaching in the UK, and a lot of people at the moment are rapidly hitting the gym, trying to get that sort of beach body, which, I'm going to be honest, you've definitely achieved that, judging by the videos. So how on earth do you motivate yourself to get into the gym? Because bed always ends up winning for me.
Bed is awesome.
It's so good.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough on tour. You know, it does become really tough on the road to stay in the gym and stay faithful. Also, like when you're traveling, you know, there's limited options as far as healthy food goes. So, you know, you got to be creative. But it's all good. I think that I am conscious of it and just try to get in when I can and try not to put too much pressure on myself in that sense.
Does Nick Jonas sometimes have days where he's just like, no, I'm just going to go for a burger and I can't be bothered to go to the gym and stay. I'm just going to stay in bed.
Of course.
Good.
Definitely.
I think everybody on KMFM needed to hear that tonight, just to make themselves feel a little bit better. We opened up something called Fan Voicemail, which is where we got in touch with your fans on Twitter and we asked them to send us audio messages with questions that they wanted to ask you. So your first one comes from Rania.
Hey Nick, it's Rania. So my question is, what is your favourite song off the new album? Thanks, bye.
Thanks for your question. I've got a couple. There's a song called Unhinged that I really love. One called Chainsaw that I'm extremely proud of. You know, all of the songs are incredibly personal and came from a very real place. So to get to share those stories is a little frightening, but also I think one of the best things in the world as an artist.
Definitely. Your next one comes from Perry.
Hi Nick, my name's Perry and I'm from Dover, and I was just wondering, when can the UK expect a new tour with a new album? Also, will it be with Demi Lovato like in America?
I am not entirely sure about the touring plans in the rest of the world. We're figuring that out now. But basically, you know, along with the music, I've been doing a lot of acting projects the last couple of years. So trying to split up the schedule and be able to do both has been challenging, but really rewarding as well. So after the tour in the US, going to try to fit in a film and then hopefully tour outside of the US.
Yeah, definitely when you find a gap. Your next one comes from Sally.
Hi Nick, it's Sally. My question for you is, what has been your most memorable performance so far?
Most memorable performance, probably performing at the White House a few times, but one in particular, I did a Motown tribute there and got to sing with Seal and Jamie Foxx and John Legend as a part of a Temptations tribute, which was really pretty special.
Do you ever feel a lot of pressure when you're doing that because the actual president of the United States is watching you?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel a little bit of pressure and get those nerves in there, but, you know, it happens, and you just got to get in and enjoy it as much as possible, even with the nerves.
Yeah, that's true. And your final one, the most important question, saved it for the end.
Hi Nick, it's Sarah. I really, really miss your curly hair, and I was just wondering whether it would ever make an appearance again. Thanks, bye.
Very important.
Very important. I'm not entirely sure. You know, I enjoy the short hair. It's easy to manage. So probably do this for a little while, and maybe we'll bring the curls back.
Okay, maybe with the next album.
Exactly.
Well, cheers for speaking to me today, Nick.
Thank you so much for having me.
And is there any chance finally you can introduce your new track here on KMFM, please?
Hey, it's Nick Jonas, my new song Close with Tove Lo on KMFM.
Oh damn, I'm so perplexed with just one breath. I'm locked in.